All right, folks, I'm running a 60-second ad break, and when that ad break concludes, we will begin our stream proper. I hope everyone's doing excellent out there on the old internet. I'm doing all right here, hanging out, ready to talk about the model kit we're about to start, the Lego set that we are finishing up. I'm going to talk about Money in the Bank 2023, which happened this afternoon, and some new anime, one new anime, one anime that's new to me, and of course, we'll talk about Twitter. I gotta update the fans and the fiends. We'll get started in a moment or two, letting this 60-second ad break go, and then we, of course, we will have our continued update about the state of a particular website. Spoiler alert, it's not great. We're going to get started in just a moment or two. Get ready for it. The stream will begin in just a moment. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a Lego set and a model kit, and I'm here to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you want to be a lurker and you don't want to say anything, you can just do that, and that's fine too. Looks, John is here. Jess is here. Lashbrook is here. Welcome to all of you. Happy to have you here on this fine Saturday evening. John says hello, John. Hey. And yes, emotes have been thrown in. Aristophan is here. Hello, Aristophan. Welcome. It's Saturday night. We're gonna work on finish up a Lego set. We got the Toad from the Exotic Parrot 3-in-1 that we got to finish up. When that is concluded, we'll begin the Providence Gundam Master Grade. Is fine time to get started on a long project. This kit from 2017 is a Gundam Seed kit with a giant backpack and a big old shield on the arm, and then a big weapon. This is gonna be a project. This kit, the Providence Gundam kit, is gonna be quite the endeavor. So I'm looking forward to that. We got dry transfer stickers that I might apply in the future, in the far future. And of course, we're going to hang out with all of you. As John says, did not see your tweet about starting stream, but I made it anyway. Yeah, I mean, like, I did send a tweet out, but also I sent a co-host message. I chose it on co-host. I skeeted on Blue Sky. And I don't know if there's a nomenclature from posting on Mastodon, but it's chosting on co-host and skeeting on Blue Sky, apparently. Yeah, mosted. I don't know. I posted on Mastodon. I donned over there. I guess it's doming. Yes, it's doming. I've described it now. When you post over on Mastodon, you're doming. Posted on Mastodon there. Yes. Toots says Dental Pockets. Welcome. Yes, it's tooting. Is that what it is? It's tooting on Mastodon? Well, I did all the things. I posted everywhere on all of the social media that I'm active on that's not Instagram. Because I only post selfies on Instagram. I don't promote on Instagram. I maybe should, but I don't. Anyway, I posted everywhere. And we're going to talk about it. I'm going to go through the timeline. Let's get in this. Let's finish up this Lego set. It's going to actually be pretty quick. We could have waited on Thursday, but I actually was feeling a bit under the weather on Thursday, and I didn't want to go late on Thursday. I wanted to go to bed, which I did, and it was great. So we got the overhead here, working on our frog. We got to do the back and front legs here, so we're going to get going on that. Now, I'm going to tell you the timeline. I'm going to get into the timeline of how we found ourselves here today. I know, or at least I am aware of, like many people, some of the reasons, or perhaps the actual reason that this is all happening. I know it. You don't have to write it in chat. You don't have to be like, well, Pat, actually, it's because of this. I want to paint a word picture, and I want to start in the beginning. As the beginning being yesterday. So please indulge me on that. Yesterday, people noticed some changes to the API had happened, seemingly out of nowhere, with no real understanding. Twitter required users to sign in to view tweets. You couldn't just go to twitter.com/PatBaer and see my tweets. You had to be logged into Twitter to do that. This broke many APIs, including posting tweets on Discord, where if you do that, you would just see the tweet. And then the tool FX, which makes it so that tweets that reblogs and stuff like that work on other sites that you're embedding, including Discord, that wasn't working, but VX was, which normally you only use for videos that you want to make sure are there, or also it's a nice way to make sure that animated GIFs show up as a video file. These are helpful tools for people. That was working, but regular old tweet embeds wasn't working. And people were wondering why that was and why you had to log in. And it was really like, oh, is this trying to like, there were theories, right? Obviously, we know some of the reasons now, or we have a better understanding. But there were some theories about why that was. But a lot of it was probably to encourage people to have accounts and use their accounts. There were various thoughts, but that was certainly a thought that many people had. Um, let's see. He had said in a tweet that we are getting data pillaged so much that it was degrading service for normal users, which it wasn't. That was clearly a fabrication. That was not the reason. There's other reasons it wasn't. Users were not having a bad time because so many people were data pillaging. Yes, degrading service, you say. Yes. So that was basically the idea. It was a temporary emergency measure, is what he said, which also probably not. These were things he's mad about AI. Yes, John, I also call BS. This was yesterday. He was mad about AI using Twitter data sets and that being a strain on Twitter and various other shenanigans. And of course, charging to use AI and routinely, this has been the last month, services that do no harm were getting exempt from the API crackdowns that went away, and those started coming out. So it's a harmless things were fun, things that Elon Musk had previously said would be protected because he liked them. Those were going away. So that was yesterday. And then today, another tweet, which I should mention right now, is a screen cap that someone was using VX Twitter to screen cap because it was posted on Discord. But then I went to Elon's official Twitter account to read it using an important post view. We'll do that in a second, but I went to verify this because I was like, this could be bullshit. I want to see if this is bullshit or not. Turns out it wasn't. It is bullshit, but not made up bullshit. It's Elon bullshit. To address extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, we've applied the following temporary limits. Again, temporary, important. Verified accounts are limited to reading 6,000 posts per day or /day. Unverified accounts to 600 posts a day. New unverified accounts to 300 a day. And if you're thinking, to address extreme levels of data scraping, the solution is to make it so that people can't look at Twitter. Aren't you in the middle of trying to encourage advertisers? Wouldn't this not be the solution at all? Is this the unstable element that you're trying to solve? Why can verified accounts view 10 times as many posts? Why are you limiting verified accounts? The people that spend money, are they really using so much data? Wouldn't it be the free accounts? Or are you afraid that people will pay the money to do this thing that you're worried about? Didn't seem to make a lot of sense. Of course, 600 posts a day is not many if you are on Twitter using it for work or just scrolling while you're doing other things or whatever. People hit the limit very fast. I should also mention the why. There are various, I went through about 305 minutes on accident this morning. Yeah, I mean, like, I scheduled a bunch of posts. Oh, we finished this frog. The frog is done. Here's frog. It is the smallest of the three 3-in-1. Oh, I have the Zoart up. My apologies. I didn't realize I had the Zoart up. That's a kit I'm going to be building in the future. My apologies. Didn't even notice, and no one said anything. So here's the frog. The frog is done. It's got a mouth that moves just a little bit. Looks cute. We'll take a photo of that frog, and then we're going to move on to the model kit. So, people have speculated this is the API just fucking things up. I just thought it was a picture of a cool robot. Well, yeah, Jess, I mean, it is a cool robot. That's the Zwart Heavy, or Zoart Heavy. Do ads count against the 600? Aristovan? I bet they don't. And if they do, that's unbelievably foolish. But the Zoart Heavy is from Which Mercury It's a Grunt. We'll be building in the future. It's the Zoart, but I keep saying Zwart, which means, which is Dutch for black, because of Black Pete, Zwart Pete. But no, that's Zoart, which is, because it's a green kit anyway. All right, I got to take a photo of this. Taking a photo of this frog. I'm going to do this side of the frog. The frog is done. We can now move on to working on, oh yeah, friends, we're moving on to it. We're doing it. The Providence Gundam Seed. This is a big old kit. This was purchased off my Amazon wish list. Thank you, John. It was mostly a birthday present, but also a little bit for purchasing for a share of a purchasing of an event. So it's a little bit of paying back. Yes. To answer your question, Rich fan, this was a fun kit. So it's a little bit paying back, but also this is just like, hey, this is a cool model kit. Here you go. Happy birthday. It's very fun, kind of you. This was a fun set. The Parrot was fun to like build the whole base and the stand like for it. That was fun. And the fish, I think the fish looked cool. But yeah, this is pretty good. Saw an engineer posting on Twitter that this throttling exactly like what happens when you don't pay your AVS bill. That's a fair point, Lashbrook, because it seems like as we we're starting with the body here. We're starting with the chest. We're going to get back into model kit building. It's been a while since we worked on a model kit. We worked on some Lego and we worked on a 3D puzzle, but now we're getting back into the old model kit. It's been a hot minute. So one of the limiting you find on here is that thing, the throttling that companies give you when you're like going over certain amounts. And the throttling has been passed on to consumers because, now this is all speculation. I'm excited to see how intricate this kit will be. And know you're up to task. Well, a master grade I should be okay with. You know, there's going to be a couple things in here I'm sure that are like a little weird, but for the most part, it should be something that I can figure out as we go. There might be some things where I'm like, I do not know what this is asking for me. But again, this is a kit from 2017, so there's going to be English and the instruction manual, which is super helpful. All right, so that goes there, and then I-9 is going on top. So, Twitter, in 2018, so, you know, years ago, so long ago, everybody, Twitter signed a $1 billion contract with Google to host some of its services on the company's Google Cloud servers. Now, supposedly, according to sources, Twitter had kind of stopped paying that under the regime because their renewal date was coming up, and that renewal date was the 30th. It was yesterday. And they stopped like paying a lot. They just started paying a lot of their bills lately, but this was a bill they weren't paying. Perhaps to negotiate a lower rate or because they knew that this was all going to go away. Now, supposedly, part of the stuff that was happening yesterday was them towards the end of migrating things to other places and off the cloud. And that today was a like emergency, like last resort of how to basically limit things so the site didn't collapse or crash. This was like a last-ditch effort to just save the site in a way because it was all gonna fall apart with this contract not being renewed and all of that. One of the ways that Twitter has been trying to save money is to not pay their bills. Allegedly, supposedly, one of the ways that they have been looking to cut down on finances is just not pay things that they owe. Um, it is a way to save money for a time. Who knows? I can't tell you for sure. That's exactly what's happening here, but that does seem to be the case. That is the deal that they have been doing. So supposedly they were moving things off, putting some running behind schedule, um, uh, and apparently some services that they use were going to go offline. It's a lot of shenanigans. Um, that Lashbrook, they are being sued for rent. Yes, for back rent. But I'm talking about like in general, allegedly, they have not been paying bills to lots of people or at all. They are being sued in one case, but I'm still saying allegedly because allegedly is easy. So, what does this lead to? Um, Much like the Twitter Blue, when Twitter Blue was like finally like they kept saying, "Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to get rid of verified. We're going to put this in to be verified. You're going to need it. People are going to lose their that did spark a wave of people being like worried about the website and being like, "Well, I guess it's fucking time to dip." That definitely had a time. So what happens, right? Well, when it's time to dip, you go somewhere else. So what got hit today? Mastodon was pretty fine. I think people that wanted to switch to Mastodon have already tried to do that. And the people that are like, wherever I end up, it's not going to fucking be Mastodon, aren't going to Mastodon. That one seemed fine. I didn't run into issues there. There might have been a little bit more load, but that didn't seem to be affected. Co-host got slammed because people who activated their accounts before and didn't use them were like, well, I guess I could fucking try co-host. And applications went up. Of course, also the folks at co-host, it's a company of 4. They try not to work on the weekends. They try to have like a good work-life balance. So they weren't expecting this. And that seems to be the case across the board, is that people were like real shocked when suddenly they became popular. Like Hive, which sucks in general, they were very surprised when they suddenly blew up. They could not handle it when that weird word of mouth happened where people were like, I think this is the place we're all going. And then co-host was like, not co-host, Hive was like, is this the place you're all going? Okay. Yeah, they were not prepared for that business. Blue Sky had a lot of trouble today. They basically shut down the for popular with your friends feature because that takes a lot of load, and they stopped sending out or new invites. Basically, they just had to like back off because not only were people who created their accounts a while ago suddenly like, well, I guess I'll fucking use Blue Sky and talk about Twitter on Blue Sky. That went up, but also just the amount in there. Yes, Blue Sky let me in meme, indeed. I'm on Blue Sky again, been on there for a little bit. Got an invite not too long ago. I do not have an invites yet. When I do have a friend that asked for it when I was talking about being on there. And so I'm going to reach out to her. If I think I have her email, I just realized that Twitter might not be a thing by the time that comes around. Oh, that came off. That's fine. That is fine. There's just a couple pieces there. Sometimes when it's different colors, they like pop them together and then those can pop off, but you can kind of just put it back in there. It's fine. That's a fine bit of business there. But yes, it'll be interesting to see what happens with all of these. Like, look, my current number one social network is a handful of Discords and group email chain. Yeah, so if you are happy on some Discords, if you got some Discords where people post stuff that you like and people post information about things you're excited about, Discord still seems to be a great spot for that. Obviously, it's not great for like breaking news because the conversations move quickly on there. So it's not the best for everything, but it's good for many things. All right, so this is going to go, where do you go? Go here? Oh, you go there. Do you go there? Yes, you go like that. Okay. Working on the chest here, and I'm just like, I don't know. Kind of know where this is supposed to go. But I'm on a bunch of social networks. My hope is that it all works out. Look, do I like that Blue Sky is run by Jack, that their moderation seems to be limited, if at all? Their ideas of moderation apparently seem to be, hey, here are filters. I don't love that. Here's the thing about Blue Sky that I don't like. Is this? No, it doesn't seem like it's connecting right. We'll see. This might not be how this goes in. I would say the thing I don't like about Blue Sky is, I just toggle off the hate groups. Yeah, you can't on Blue Sky pin a message to your page, your profile page. So if somebody clicks, Blue Sky, like Blue Sky app, Pat Baer, and they're looking at my page and they're like, wait, what's Pat up to? They got to look at my top tweet, which will hopefully contain information that I would like to send along, but might also not have the most accurate information about what I'm up to. Because it might just be a photo of tomatoes that came out of the garden, which is on there. Where I would also enjoy it if it said, like my schedule for things or my schedule for the month. Because it's the first stream of July, friends. It's July. So, yeah, like I said, I'm on there. I'm doing my thing. I don't know. There are a couple people. This happens with new social networks. Now, you might not remember this because it's been a while, or maybe Twitter was your first social media platform, and so you're not used to the nonsense. As I struggle to figure out why I can't get this thing to connect and think that maybe I did something wrong. I'll look at this stuff here. It might be this. I'm gonna ease back here. July 1st, the best time to join a Patreon. Indeed. Well, Patreons do have rolling submissions, so any day is a good day to join a Patreon. But the first day of the month is a fine day. You're totally right. So what was I saying? A thing that happens with social media that is fun is when you join a new one, sometimes people who did not follow you on the previous one will follow you on the new one because they're not following a lot of people. And maybe eventually they'll drop you because they're like, I actually don't know who this is, or, well, we have all these mutuals, but like, whatever. And I have a couple people like that who I followed on Twitter, and now they're following me on Blue Sky. And in one case, they followed me before I followed them, which I thought was funny. But that is immediately interesting to me to be like, oh, you're following me on this one now, huh? Cool. Well, welcome. Weren't following me before. Now you're all interested in what I'm up to, huh? Okay. Cool. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It is the wild frontier. It's a new service. I remember when AOL Instant Messenger, John says, died, and I lost a lot of friends over that, and the Gtalk protocol shut down. Yeah, that definitely happens. Okay, so I don't know why I can't get this connected. I'm gonna tool around here. I'm thinking that I'm doing something wrong somewhere. So I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna back up here, and we're gonna look. We're gonna just go step by step and kind of redo everything here. So we put this piece on. Fit the part as far as it will go. All right, that's as far as it will go. So that's on right. This is right. A9 is this one. There's only one good spot for that to fit in, so that seems to be right. This seems to be accurate. And there's another piece that's going to go in front. But then if I put this like this, that's also accurate. That seems to be good. Okay. That looks all right. This piece. Okay, that's going to go in there, and that goes in there. So maybe I was doing this. The only good place for this to go is right here. And that goes in. It doesn't say fit as tight as possible, So I'm not going to overpressure it. And that goes in. And then if I put like this, yep, that'll slide in when the time is right. Okay. Now this piece, there might be somewhere along the way where I did this wrong. So I'm just going to look at that. That looks fine. This all looks good. This now has to go in here. That'll be the only hole for this to go. Yeah. So this needs to go like that. I wonder if I can do on this side. All right, now I should be able to just slide this all together and have it all interlock and feel okay. Hooray, I did it. Okay. I don't know why that was annoying, but it was. That was super annoying, and I don't quite know why. But I'm done with that part of the chest now, and now I can move on to getting the shoulders in place, which should be fine. I've done something similar to this before about how these shoulders will lock in place, so hopefully that'll all work out okay. But yeah, that was surprisingly frustrating. So we're going to turn on that side. We need J and F. We'll get that going. So yeah, a social media site that I use quite a bit is dying. I don't think Blue Sky's the answer. I don't think Mastodon's the answer. Co-host was never the answer. So people were like, Co-host doesn't do what I want it to do. They don't have an app. And it's just like, Co-host is not social media. Co-host is just Tumblr run by nice people. That's all it is. It's Tumblr not run by Yahoo. So don't expect Co-host to be the answer to Twitter. It just won't be. The most likely answer to Twitter is Blue Sky. It's not good, but it's probably the answer to Twitter. The real answer is it's going to be a lot of stuff, and people that have built a follow. Like, hey, no surprise. I don't have the numbers on any other site like I did on Twitter, and I don't think I ever will. Which is a frustrating thing when you are someone like me who creates things. Keeping to my streaming schedule is really important now because I want people who are not on Twitter and seeing that I'm going live to be like, I know when Pat streams, and to come see me because you might not be on the social media platforms that I'm on. And you might not know when I'm streaming next. So I got to do what I can to entice you to come check my shit out. It's weird and bad. For artists, it's terrible. I know a lot of people are like, well, I guess I got to, focus on my TikTok and focus on my YouTube and focus on all this other stuff. And it's like, yeah, it sucks, but also probably, yeah, you probably do need to do all that shit. Because I don't know what else to tell you. It's going to be rough out there for finding the people you like. We gotta, honestly, a thing that we kind of gotta hope, as content, as people that make things on the internet, the thing that I hope most is that people start searching my username on site to find me on places and find my information. I guess I should PatBaer.com doesn't. Where does PatBaer.com go? Did I go to my Twitch? I can't remember. I'm looking it up. You don't have to look it up. I own PatBaer.com and I pay for PatBaer.com. It used to go to my Tumblr. Right now it goes to my Twitch page. It should go to a link tree. I've never done it. I just haven't done a link tree. But PatBaer.com should probably just go to a link tree. Okay, so the smaller hole of this goes on here. And oh, but that doesn't want to. Sure. Can confirm PatBaer.com redirects here. Yes, I'm John. Yeah. So I forgot where I had it, but I have PatBaer.com. It goes to this website. It should eventually not do that, and it should go somewhere else. It should go probably to a link tree that links all of those sites so that people can find me, and I'll have my Discord invite and have this and have my YouTube and my, whatever, and my Blue Sky and all the other stuff. I should probably set that up. I've been meaning to do it. I just haven't. Is this right? Yes, this looks right. Okay. All right, I have put that in. This seems to be lined up correctly. There's some wiggle room here, which makes me think maybe I got to press down more. But I don't know. Do I have to press down more? As I start sliding things together, if this is off, then I'll know why it's off. So, then I see F32. All right, let's talk Money in the Bank, everybody. That was today. It happened this afternoon on East Coast time, and the late morning on West Coast time, because it happened in the O2 Arena in good old, jolly old England. It was in London town. Money in the Bank 2023. 7 matches on the card. No pre-show. There was no pre-show matches, I should say. There was a pre-show. It was fun because that was clearly in front of a green screen, most likely in Connecticut, in Stamford, or possibly in their New York offices, but definitely not in London. They did not fly them out, which is kind of funny, I should say. And that I don't generally like the ones that are inside the arena where people are walking by being schlubs and weirdos. So I do prefer this solution to that, which is just have them in a studio space. Okay, so this is going to go like that. Let's see. Our first match was the Money in the Bank ladder match, men's side, featuring Damian Priest, Butch, LA Knight, Logan Paul, Ricochet, Santos Escobar, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And the winner was Damian Priest of Judgment Day. Some people were surprised about that. I thought that made a fuck ton of sense. To me, that made, I would say probably the most sense. Now, look, sentimental at the moment because he's popular, but also seems to be overlooked and the audience is so behind him. Should it have been LA Knight? Totally reasonable to wish it was LA Knight, or to think it should have been LA Knight, because he's so over with the crowd, even if he's still portraying a heel. He's so popular that it's the time to put the strap the rocket to him and all that, but they didn't. And that might be short-sighted. It also might be that they have a plan for LA Knight, and they don't need the crowd to be psyched about him. He doesn't need the Money in the Bank ladder match win for people to be psyched about him. Or the plans they have for him do not involve him holding the briefcase and losing the opportunity, because they're not going to put a belt on. Damian Priest winning the heavyweight championship, the new belt, Cess belt, makes a lot of sense. Of course, we did later in the night run into some shenanigans with that, which is interesting. He did not cash in, I'll say that, but there were shenanigans, which I thought were interesting. The match itself I thought was fun. There was a spot that did not go well, and even if it had gone perfectly, I don't know if it would have gone well. 2 men got knocked off a ladder onto the second rope, and then one man was supposed to grab the other and do a Spanish fly, where one man is standing one way and one man is standing the other, and then they flip through the air, and then for some reason only one man is hurt with that move, but that's the Spanish fly. And they were supposed to do a Spanish fly through 2 tables, but one man was definitely not sturdy enough to do that and to leap. And the other man was like, we're doing this spot, and kind of forced it so that the one man definitely landed on his fucking head and then also cut himself, which I don't enjoy to see. I don't like that accidental damage to human body, or on purpose damage to human body. in a wrestling context. I'm not into that. But it was Logan Paul who landed on his head into a table. And I'm not above it enough to not be pleased that Logan Paul got hurt. Should I be a bigger man, a better man, and a bigger man than that? Yeah, probably. I'm 43 years old. I should probably not chuckle in a somewhat dark manner at the thought that noted shitbag Logan Paul certainly got an injury in the wrestling thing that he doesn't really need to be in, and it serves no real purpose to be there. Yeah, I mean, I should probably be above it, but I'm not fucking above it. I'm not above it at all. Right now, I'm totally in it. And I'm in it to be like, yeah, Ricochet, you make him do that move. Fuck him. There were a couple of moments in the match where everyone was like, we don't know who's going to win this match, but we know you're not going to. And they were just beating him up, and that's fun. I like that. It did look like LA Knight was going to win because, of course, the WWE knows that the crowd was going to be cheering LA Knight. So he's climbing the ladder. He's making his move. He's getting it. And the shot, the camera shot is tight on him so that we don't see that climbing up the other side of the ladder is Damian Priest. We only see his hand come into frame to grab LA Knight. And it was fantastic cinematography. This was excellent work. It was completely out of nowhere. I don't know how you get a man like Damian Priest to not be noticeable, but they managed to do it. And it was a fantastic moment in the match. He ended up winning. Again, it's not. There were only a few people that are going to win. It's not the most interesting, but if he's going to be feuding with Seth Rollins, it makes sense to have a heel like that do it. I thought it was all right. Our next match in a double match of the one of two of the, hey, if you want to go take a piss because you don't like this person, you can go do that match. We had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez challenging for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship against Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Now, the NXT Women's Tag Team belts had just been unified with the WWE ones. So now they're going to be supposedly defended across all brands. Do we think that we were going to see Ronda show up at, NXT to defend those belts? Probably not. Possibly, but probably not. Well, that's a moot point because Raquel and Liv won them belts. They won them belts. And not because, hey, Lord Crashton, not because Liv Morgan has Ronda Rousey's number, which she does. She is the person in WWE who somehow beats Ronda Rousey, which is lovely. No, it's not because Raquel, with her expressive back and smile that happens all the time, managed to take on, an overpower Ronda. It's not that reason. It's because Shayna Baszler choked out Ronda Rousey for no reason, with no apparent reason, I should say, and then left. Shayna apparently was so mad about something with Ronda that she'd rather them not be tag champions than deal with it. So she just attacked Ronda and then left. And then they did a bunch of tag team finishes, multiple finishes on Ronda, and won. And that's it. That's your lot. None of these people were dressed like they were in a tag team with one another. On the one hand, you've got Ronda in fucking Majin, or not, forget Majin. It's not the version of Vegeta where he succumbs. He allows himself to be taken over, and he gets the M on his forehead, and then he's stronger. I think maybe Majin Vegeta is the way to go there. She just had the M on her forehead, and she was wearing kind of a tank top that kind of looked like Saiyan armor. Majin Vegeta, yeah. So kind of like Saiyan armor, and then just the normal trunks that she always wears, the tights, the bicycle shorts that she always wears. So it was real half-assed. And then Shayna was wearing her normal gear, but the colors of it and some of the patterns of it were definitely Warhammer inspired because Shayna Baszler is a Warhammer nerd, which is great. We love that about her. So it was like a little bit. So it was one of those things where you're like, you two. I know you're gonna feud it now, but you couldn't be on the same page for this match. You had to like go into this match like being opposites with one another. I'm like, that sucks. I think that sucks. And then on the other side, you've got the tag team that likes one another. Raquel was wearing this like her normal gear, but it was like yellow and red, and I don't know what it signified. If you do know, please let me know. And then Liv was wearing a variation of her gear, but she was decked out in the flag, the British flag, and it was definitely an homage to Ginger Spice, which is fun. But their gear didn't match at all. I would say if you're going to be Ginger Spice, then Raquel should wear gear like, I don't know, Sporty Spice perhaps. Perhaps. That would have made sense. That would have been a fun thing. People would have gotten it. But she didn't. She said she had some kind of gear that looked nice, but wasn't that. And I think they should have matched because they were winning the belts. And just in general, tag teams should look like themselves or look like each other. Nathan Explosions here using Prime for 13 months. Thank you so much, Nathan. Let's hit the old applause there. Thank Nathan for subscribing for 13 months. Appreciate you very much. We're back up again to 101. We'll throw the Bear Cave Lego site and Tier 2 Blue Emote if you're a Tier 2 subscriber. We're back to 101 subscribers. That is my new record because we had a run of the very end of the month. There's no way to see it, but we had a bunch of subscriptions on Thursday. We got no gift subs this month because of that, because it's a new month. But yeah, we ended real strong. Bizarrely strong. Lord Crash knows it's a new month, and I got music that's new. So if you use your channel points, I'll hit the dance button. Let me get this piece out here in a second, and then I will apply 219 or A19. Why can't I find A19? Oh, is it here? It is here. I'll apply A19 and A12 on there, and then I'll use the new music that I put in there in just a second, and we'll get a little dance music going while I continue to work on this kit right now. Oh yeah. This one's got a little bit of a groove. It's a little funky. I like it. And then, yeah, this one's it's not as lively as the last one, but it's got some funk to it. It's got a little bit of a beat. I'm enjoying it. That's a new dance song all through the month of July. If you hit those, you got your channel points, you can make me dance. Legally distinct funk music, indeed. Okay, so this is gonna go. Where do you go? How do you work? How does that work? So yeah, I guess Shayna and Ronda are gonna feud, and I guess that's fine. Not having that. Look, Shayna deserves some cool shit. Ronda not having a belt is great for people that don't like Ronda, like me, a real Ronda hater. That's awesome. I don't know where this part's supposed to go. Go here? That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. This is like a chess piece. I guess it should go like here, I think. But I don't know where this goes. This is where it... Oh, there it goes. Okay, there we go. That just, for some reason, didn't want to slide in, but now I got it working. Okay, so that goes there, and this is going to go on top of that. There's a lot of colors in this kit. And also, it looks gold in the photos and the render. This is gold, but this is like piss gold. This is like greenish gold. It's a weird yellow. I don't love it. I don't love this yellow. There's only a couple parts that are this color. I'm not a big fan. And then the chest piece, because we're nowhere near done with this chest. This is a master grade. You got a lot of components in this chest. We're going to be working on this for a while, including rubber pieces, which are coming soon. We got a rubber piece. There are rubber pieces on this kit. Excited for that. To get back into the wrestling. Our next match, Again, could have been a piss break match if that's your vibe. To go and not watch it. Gunther defended his WWE Intercontinental Championship against the challenger Matt Riddle by submission because they just over the course of the last week just beat up Matt Riddle's ankle until Matt Riddle could not walk that well. The crowd was real hot for Gunther, which makes sense because Gunther rules. And it makes total sense that the crowd would just be like, hey, you know what? We really like we like you, and we like what you're up to. Well, these are the wrong pieces. Shit. Popped out these pieces too early. I need these later. But yeah, the crowd was boos here and there, and there are people who like Riddle in the audience. But for the most part, the live crowd, who were great, but kind of going their own way in some certain spots. Bayley is a fucking heel. She is a dastardly heel. But England likes Bayley. And she was like, shut up. And they were like, no, we like you. But yeah, Gunther won. Not surprising. Shortest match of the night. That's actually surprising. The Cody Rhodes Dominic Mysterio match, which was up next, was technically longer than Gunther versus Matt Riddle, which was a surprise. But yeah, Cody Rhodes came out. Dominic Mysterio had Rhea Ripley with him. Rhea got involved on occasion. There were a lot of distractions. But then Cody just beat the piss out of him, spammed all his finishers, and kind of won. And that was it. And then I was like, oh, well, this is the part where, Rhea starts getting in Cody's face, and then somebody comes out to help Cody, and that sets up the next feud, because Rhea has a fucking belt, but isn't defending it. She's, doing defense against, Natalia, and it's just, not going anywhere. So this is where we're going to get her next big challenger. Nope. They just left. It was a little anticlimactic, and I was like, oh. I want Rhea to not just be the person on that group that has a belt. I want her to be the badass she should be. Look, her as the heavy for Dominic Mysterio, the shit heel, is good. That's good television. That's good shit. But I also want Rhea to have good, strong matches against quality opponents. Not just fucking all the time, the same people over and over again. I don't know. All right, so we got to put a rubber hose piece on here. We got some rubber to put on this. We got this rubber piece here. We got to do H1 is this here. So yeah, this is fucking rubber. We're going to put this on the kit. Then John Cena came out, which was weird. I was not expecting John Cena to appear. John Cena is apparently working on a film in London, but he was also doing some work for the old WWE while there, because they called upon him to cut a promo about how the fans were awesome, and it's the first time that they had a premium live event in London since 20-something years, and how cool that was, and how important that is, and how the crowd gets it. And the thing he wants more than anything is he part of the reason he was in London, because work, but also he was there to help facilitate getting WrestleMania to London. And the crowd lost their damn minds. Because of course they did. And it makes sense that they would lose their damn minds. Because, that sounds cool. All right. So A4. And I got to put A11 into A4. Okay. Because, of course, they would want that. And then Grayson Waller came out. And Grayson Waller was like, hey, John, I'm a big fan. But the weather here is terrible. And then the crowd boos. And he's like, and it's not fun. And I didn't like here. No, he did not get a localized nickname. I will say this in a moment. So Grayson Waller's like, hey, we should do it in Australia, because Grayson Waller is from Australia and a heel. So he's just like, we should fucking do that in Australia, my dude. Fuck this idea of doing it here, because the weather's bad and the beaches aren't good. And the crowd's like, boo, boo. Apparently, England and Australia, boo. It's like, no. And then John was like, I don't want to do that. And then Grayson Waller was like, oh, and he's like, and John, you've lost all the time. So how about next year at WrestleMania, you're a guest on the on my talk show, and you don't, wrestle because you keep losing matches. So instead, just be on my talk show. And John Cena's like, no, I don't want to do that. Uh, so then Grayson Waller just attacked John Cena. Grayson Waller, who I might stress here a little bit, has not really wrestled much since he came up to the main roster because he was hurt. He got called up, so he's just been doing talk show segments. But he was ready to rough and tumble with Jonathan Cena. And then John Cena gave him an attitude adjustment, and everyone went home happy. There was more pay-per-view, but continue there. So the thing that happened with John Cena was that London was fucking psyched to see John Cena. And so they were real psyched about that. And then also, they were singing other parts of the song. Like, usually people just go, John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks. They do the song, and he expects it. And even the people that like him sing it because it's fun. In the same way that people chant "You suck" to Kurt Angle, and he's fine with that. In this one, for whatever reason, the UK crowd just sang "My Time Is Now." You can't see me. My time is now. But they did it for all the lyrics because there were other lyrics besides "You can't see me. My time is now." So they were chanting to the music, "You can't see me. My time is now." And John Cena literally stopped and was just like, hey, that's weird. I like that. But nobody else does that. That's a new one. And the crowd was psyched that he acknowledged that they were being weirdos by chanting a different thing from his song that he is not used to them chanting. And I thought that was kind of fun. So, yeah, London's got its own fucking chant for John Cena. So I think these are supposed to fit in here, and I don't know why, or I don't know how. So this is supposed to go up here. And then these go like there. And then this goes up like this. And these go like there. And then this is supposed to slide in. But when it slides in, it's supposed to lock these in place. And it's not doing that. So first, let's see how this locks in. That locks in. Okay, so that locks in like that. Mostly like that. Okay, and then it's going to go up like that. Okay, so that goes up like that. And then do I just shove these in? And I think there's a thing that goes over these that will lock this in place. So I might not have to have these locked in. But I think they're supposed to be locked in. I don't know yet. This kid is weird in ways that I appreciate, but that is weird. I'm going to find out what happens when I put on H2, which is another rubber hose. So I don't think that's going to lock that in place. Yeah, this is H2. Yeah, H2 is another rubber piece. So that's going to go from here to here. Yeah, that's weird. This whole kit is weird. Okay, so I got to pop this piece off because these have to lock into place on this somehow. Oops. And that piece. This is a complicated model kit. I'm just going to say that right now. So then Seth freaking Rollins, that is his nickname. I hate it. He should just be Seth Rollins. There's no reason why he should be Seth freaking Rollins. It's just a weird thing. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. But Seth freaking Rollins is out there. This is the Providence Gundam, indeed, Miyabi. Working on the old Providence Gundam Master Grade. We just started this tonight. We finished up a Lego set that I've been working on the past couple days, and then we started this up. So this, I'll figure this thing out in a second. I know it's got to get on there. these have to like fit in somewhere. It's like, does it go in like that? Dyke, Rhode Island is a real place. Yes, the Providence Gundam, the most queer mobile suit. It's not. That's not true. There are probably queer mobile suits in the Providence Gundam, but yes. Um, well, now I have to think about. Damn it! Now I have to think about that. Is there a queer mobile suit? There probably is. The Moon Gundam, possibly. The Moon Gundam's up there. Of course, of course, the Ariel is a very queer mobile suit. Um, yes. Okay. Well, yeah. But we're talking, the Nobel. Look, the Nobel Gundam from G Gundam is a sailor suit Gundam. It's got high heels and a ribbon. So, at the very least, it's the most femme mobile suit. Is that queer? It seems pretty queer to me. Going to say that out there. Certainly not the leading authority when it comes to that thing, but that kit does feel pretty queer to me. Trying to think if there's another example. Because Sailor Moon is very queer. So yes. So one could put that into consideration. But she berserks only for men, so less queer. I mean, yes, it's not super queer, but it's fairly queer. Trying to think if there's another mobile suit that is. I mean, there's some that are. Look, there are some that are fabulous. Don't get me wrong. There are some that are just unbelievably gorgeous and wonderful, and out and proud. Certainly. Yes. Like, I'm just gonna look at this here. Oh, certainly. I'm just looking up colorful mobile suits because I want to see, like, I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, these are paint jobs, so that's not going to help me. Just thinking of like, that's certainly not a flamboyant. Okay, there we go. The Zaku Warrior Concert Edition. It's a Zaku that likes like Hollow Live stuff, or really it's probably a mobile suit that likes idols. Um, yeah, okay, yeah. So, uh, I'm gonna say, oh, can I find a photo of this that isn't a WebM? Can I find the Yeah, so the warrior yeah, this is the Gundam. The Zaku Warrior live concert version, there might not be a gayer mobile suit than this. This might be the most queer mobile suit possible. I'm gonna search for this and try to find a photo that fits, that isn't a WebM. I don't have to go through weird conversions to look at this photo. Yeah, all right, here we go. So save as, desktop, and then add photo, image. There we go. Browse, desktop. Here we go. I just don't think that there is this going on the wish list? I don't believe this is going to show up on Amazon because this was I believe this is a Gundam base, so like only in stores mobile suit. I believe that this is like a very limited numbered master grade that was just, yeah, so I don't expect this to show up on Amazon. This is the kit that I would probably get at a convention and spend over $100 on. probably. But yeah, I don't think there is a, like, that's just unbelievable, and I don't think it can be topped, and I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner. But like, it's just it's just so lovely. It's a beautiful kit. The Zaku War. Oh, it's on Amazon for $82. All right, John. Well, it might end up on my wish list. I don't know. I haven't put it there. It is nice to have a couple expensive items. This Providence Gundam was also an expensive kit. So I do occasionally put some expensive kits on the wish list. I can't figure out. I'm going to tell you straight, friends. Straight up, I should say. I don't know where these little parts are supposed to go. I don't know. I don't know where these are supposed to go to line up with, to get locked in on here. These plastic hose pieces. So I know this goes like this. Should just brighten my area up here a bit. There we go. I know this goes like this. So these should be like here, I guess, to fit in there. I think maybe that's where they should go. Anyway, Seth won. Damian Priest looked like he was going to cash in. That freaked out his partner in Judgment Day, Finn Balor. And Finn Balor was like, "What are you doing?" And Damian was like, "Nothing. I wasn't going to do anything." But that did cost him the match. So that's some frustrations within that crew as they're trying to figure out what's going on and get on the same page. And then... And the main event looks like that's cheaper than Side Swerve Exports is. Yeah. And then Roman Reigns, who has not been pinned in years, got pinned. The Usos won the Civil War. There was a ref bump, and then it looked like the referee legitimately got hurt, which we don't like. We don't like to see that. But it did look like he got fucking actually banged up in the fake sport moment of him being hurt and taken out in a ref bump that looked bad. And then, yeah, the Usos won. Roman Reigns is defeatable. You know, he's been pinned for his titles, but he was pinned in a tag team match. And that feels like a big fucking deal. All right, I got these on. That took fucking forever for some reason. And then I've got to get these on here now. And I don't know how these are supposed to go. This one's supposed to go on this side. And then this loops around to... Where does it go on the back, though? Show me where it goes on the back, though. Go there, or does it go higher? Must go here. It's weird. It hooks on the back. Oh, okay, it does show me there. All right, so that's going to go like that. This is weird. And then I'll put the other hose on, and then we'll try to button this up. We do need to take a pause for the cause. I need to talk to you about ways you can support the channel and all that I do here, which we'll do in just a moment. Let me just get this on. And then we'll get back into it. We'll talk about some anime and some manga. And we'll continue that. I think I have to... Oh. These will get locked into place by the back part there. So we'll put those on there. We might have to adjust these. This kit has a lot of weird rubber hose. This kit is weird in a way that I appreciate, but it is weird. All right. Yeah, so we'll talk. That's Money in the Bank. We'll talk about some anime and some manga, because I only have 2 anime shows to talk to you about. So I'm going to fill in the blanks with a little bit of manga conversation as well. But first things first, I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support the channel if you were so inclined. Everything I'm about to talk about here is optional. You don't have to do any of these things. If you would like to, you're more than welcome to, but you don't have to. These are all optional ways to support me. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the old Bill with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money. I always appreciate that. By being a subscriber, you could gift a sub. We have no gift subs this month. which is understandable because it's the beginning of the month. If you want to gift a sub to somebody in the community, you could do that. You could also do bits and coins. If you just want to cheer a little bit, you got some bits burning a hole in your pocket, you want to support somebody, that could be me. It could be your friend Pat if you want to do that. Again, optional. You don't have to do any of these things. You being here means a lot. But also, I do want to talk about ways that you can support the channel if you want. Hey, Jordy, welcome. I have a Patreon. If you want to jump in there at patreon.com/PatBaer, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. Different rewards for different tiers. It's always a good time to join the Patreon because of rolling submissions. The first is nice because it kind of bundles it all together. But you don't have to do that. You can just jump in now if you want, or any day if you want to join the old thing. Let's see, what else we got? I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBaer. There are lots of videos on there. I would love you to subscribe for free if you want to do that. And if you want to become a member there for $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you get them a day early, which is fun, I think. I think that's a fun thing. So jump over on the old YouTube channel if you want. And consider being a member. Those are all ways to support me on a financial level on a monthly basis. But what if you just want to one time be like, hey, Pat, help buy a model kit. Here you go. Here's a little help. Well, you could always make a direct donation through Coffee or PayPal or Stream Elements. And everything I make through those services goes into a fund. And the same thing for all the monthly. So that through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and I buy model kits with that. I have a backlog of lovely kits that I will be happy to build in the future, but I'm not building them now because right now I'm working on the Providence kit, which was purchased off my Amazon wish list. That's right, I got a wish list, and a bunch of people bought stuff. I have another kit coming up to work on next that also was purchased with help in a way that I'll talk about for a second. But Amazon is probably the easiest way for people to support me here if they wanted to. If they wanted to support me financially, you can see I've got inexpensive kits, I've got expensive kits, I've got kits with free shipping, kits without free shipping. I have two different versions of the aerial on there. I have the high grade aerial. I built that. I've got another variant of the aerial, or the Elfrit coming, that I'll build in the future. But I have the aerial SD on this wish list. I also have the very expensive full mechanics aerial on the wish list because it's nice having a bunch of stuff. I have a few expensive kits because sometimes people want to buy something that's expensive. So if I look up the Zaku Warrior MG live concert, I can find it here for $82 with free Prime shipping, and I'm going to add that to my wish list. And so maybe someone will buy that. I'm going to put it in the right order later. I'm not going to do that now. But yeah, you buy something. I shoot a video for my YouTube about that, a dedicated video about the thing that you purchased, and it jumps the line. It becomes the next thing that I built. I have a throne wish list, which is a slightly similar stuff, but also some people don't want to buy through Amazon, which I understand. So it's nice to have another option. And then the next kit that I'll be building actually came from a gift card from USA Gundam Store. Shout out to Dustin. Dustin went to USA Gundam Store, bought a gift card there, sent me a whisper here on Twitch with the gift card code, and I used that gift card code and bought something, which is the Zoart Heavy, which is the next thing that I'll be building, unless I get another thing from my wish list, in which case my $10 patrons will vote on what I build next, because they get to vote, because it's important to have people vote on things. And get your voice heard. Yeah, and those are the various ways to support me financially. If you want to help me out for free, you don't want to spend a dime, and you also want to know about what's going on with me, I guess I'm going to start posting more now that Twitter is shittier. I'm going to post my schedule on Discord more because I haven't really. Discord is mostly been for conversations or after the fact, and I don't plug my schedule on Discord. And so I'm going to do that more now. So you can check that out over on the Pat Baer, Baer Discord. Other things, a couple video links for you to check out before we get back into conversation and working on this kit. Pat Bear's Anime Club. I'm going to have a new episode up on Monday. My next episode is my 100th Pat Bear's Anime Club. It was recorded on Tuesday in front of the Twitch audience. But if you missed that one, you can watch that when it comes up. If you missed the last video, episode 99, it was about how to find anime. Both old stuff, where to find where you can stream that, and also how to find out information about upcoming series, if like because the new season just started. So maybe you want to find some stuff out about that. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where every week I write a brand new character written and performed by me, and I practice it so it is at least barely rehearsed 4 times a year in this year-long project. I clean slate. This is a clean slate number 2, which means I am halfway through this project. I look at some ideas that just have been sitting there since video 13. So I did 12 videos without touching any of these ideas. And some of them I'm just like, nope, I'm never going to use this. Or there might be like full-fledged sketch ideas. Maybe they'd be hard to stage, or they would require more than one actor, and I'm doing character pieces. It doesn't really work. Or it's just like a phrase I thought was funny, but I don't know what to do with. And so I just say them in a list form and then send them out to the ether. And I wipe the slate clean. There was at least one idea in there that I'm like, well, I'm saving that idea because it's fairly new and I actually like it. But mostly it's for ideas that I'm just like, you know what? I'm never going to do anything with this fucking idea. I'm just going to say it now, maybe get a laugh for some people, and then send it on its fucking way. So that's the plan with that. So watch that. It's pretty funny. There might be a couple ideas there. You thought, oh, Pat, you should have written that up. It would have been good, but I didn't. We're going to talk about some manga, and we're going to talk about some anime here. We're going to start with manga, because I only have 2 anime, one new, one like mini review of a series. So we'll do that. And then I'm going to drink a little bit of water. We're going to get back into building, try to get more. I would love to we're very close. I want to get this whole unit done, the chest done, and we can panel line it and then move on to the head. But the end of the stream is a bad time to do the head because it's probably going to have stickers. So maybe I just want to get, the chest done in the next 40 minutes. We'll see. We shall see. Okay. So I'm going to drink a little water, then we'll get back to building, and we'll dramatically transition to the overhead right now. All right. Let's talk about a manga that I have been reading, The Bewilderment of the Sacrificial Second Princess. This is in the subgenre, the popular subgenre of the kicked. It's a little Otoma game, but because it has a female lead, but it's not a reincarnation. This is just a girl that has been banished from her kingdom and basically offered to another kingdom as kind of like a peace treaty. But like the people that did that think that that's like, oh, this will just be like, she'll get treated poorly there. She's not even worth our time. This is like kind of getting rid of this girl because she's a barrier maker, but they have this other princess who could do that job and is pretty. So let's get rid of this boring plain old girl and we'll get this other one. Now it turns out, their replacement is shit and is bad at that. But of course they're going to come to regret their fucking stupid decision. But right now, they don't regret it. They think they made the right decision. And our girl is like, well, I can get out of this house and get away from these people. So I guess this is for the best. Like, I'm worried, but I'll just work hard because that's my goddamn MO is I'm a hard worker. So I'll make it work. And she arrives in this other kingdom and she's there and they're fucking psyched, man. They're so fucking psyched that she's there. They're just like, you built the barrier and our barrier has been so weak and we're so excited to have you and you're so like talented and like we can't believe this is even possible for us. We're so blessed to have you here. And she's just like completely like bewildered by this and like, okay, well, I'll work hard and we'll get this barrier. Like, and she's like getting the barriers done so quickly, and they're just like, and then they're sort of like, hey, no, you need to rest. No, you need to relax a little bit. You work too hard. Like, take your time. And she meets the prince who she's engaged to, and he's like nice to her and like smitten with her and like seems to be a good dude. She's like, oh wow, I'm engaged to that guy. Neat. And of course, the king and queen are just like, oh, we're so psyched to have you as our daughter-in-law. And it's just like a lovely bit of business. And they're getting ready for the wedding, and she's like, well, I got to make myself useful. One thing I did was I always read because I didn't have anything else to do. So I read a lot. So I've got a lot of ideas uh, to like how to make things better. And like, hey, instead of the barter system, we should work on like written agreements because we have like we're gonna get access to paper because I'm making a deal with this other country in exchange for some food, and we're gonna do this and that. And turns out that she has a half brother within this other kingdom, and like they're getting along real well. And they basically are just like, so we're making a deal with your kingdom, but we're really making a deal with this princess because she passed like all our tests and we think she's rad. And since she's with you, we want to do business with you. Um, and we later learn, yeah, again, because like half brother, they've got that relationship going now. So it's lovely. Uh, and there is a point where, of course, now normally when they realize like, hey, things aren't going as well as they used to, we can't figure out a reason why. Often when that happens, they blame the other person. They're like, oh, she must have done something. In this case, they were like, oh no, we fucked up. But they're not like, we fucked up, and the solution to that is we need to get her back. No, their solution is she's got to go because she's just going to make things worse for us because people are going to start to realize that she was the thing holding us together. So that's fucked. And at the time I stopped reading this because I ran out of chapters to read, they're preparing for the wedding. And everybody's really fucking happy and smitten with one another. And it's just like there's a lot to like about this series. It it's very fucking fun. I've been enjoying myself quite a bit reading it. I recommend it. It is the Bewilderment of the Sacrificial Second Princess. Because again, she's just so shocked to be wanted and needed. Um, she is at least like she's still a hard worker, and she has to like break from overworking to seem useful. She still has that fear, but she doesn't have the thing that a lot of these stories need to have, where the main character doesn't understand why they're so like. She does understand like, oh, I can do stuff. She doesn't necessarily feel worthy of the respect that she's getting, but she at least understands that like she does a job that people are appreciating. They're just appreciating it way more in this place. So she's not like foolish about her job. She's just got a real problem with self-worth. Um, which, you know, I get it. And yeah, so that's a fun manga that I have been enjoying. I got to put this back piece on here so that we can get these hoses lined up and locked in place because these are starting to piss me the fuck off. I'm just going to connect the back ones here, get the back plate on, and then I'll connect the front ones and then put the pieces on to lock those in place. I think this is going to work that way. If I do that. Oh, no, one slid out, so that's fun. Again, this has some fun, cool parts on it that are also pretty fucking frustrating. So this is going to go like... I got to go angle down. Oh, okay. Oh, damn it, no. Who would have thought that rubber pieces would be frustrating? Everybody would have thought that. Everybody would have known that this was going to be a frustrating element of this kit. And then one popped out, and then I'm like, oh, if I just slightly do it, can I get this piece to line up in there? Nope. Lower peg. We're going to talk about anime in just a second. I read or watched 2 series. We'll talk about that, and we just try to get this locked in here. All right. Back piece is on. Let me tell you about Insomniacs After School, which is a series that I have not watched every episode of, but I've watched some of. This is a series that I wasn't watching weekly. There was just a lot of like romantic comedy shows that I was not looking for another one because last season was just fucking chock full of them. So I waited, and I ended up picking that up right now in the in between as new stuff is starting. I picked it up. I gotta say, really fucking enjoying it. This is a real slow burn. I've watched 6 episodes. The plot is small town folks here. There's a main character, Ganta, and he's like trying to catch a nap at school because he is an insomniac, and he ends up going to the abandoned observatory for the astronomy group. And then he finds this girl, Isaki, who has the same insomnia problems that he does. And he's like more kind of like nerdy, down to earth, and she's like sociable, kind of carefree, but obviously has an issue. And this is a series about their slow, awkward development of a friendship. And also their attempts to rebuild the astronomy club and make use of this space. And it's very patient. And it's almost more of a friendship series that has little moments of relationship stuff, but is maybe like it takes its time focusing on those 2 aspects, which is really lovely. I have enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't want to get too much into the weeds on this one again because I've only watched 6 episodes. It could turn south, but this is a show that I feel like I probably should have found the time to watch this weekly. I did like it, but I did have a lot on my plate this season, but I could have made some time for that, and I probably should have because it felt worth the time. Oh boy, why won't this connect? What am I missing here? I have to go around. But this goes in like that. This really needs to like lock in on that. What are you... That's not right. That's right. Sorry, friends. I can see the hose goes here. There we go. This kit is so weird. There's a lot of weird stuff on this kit. I'll say that. I have had more trouble with this than I was originally expecting to have. Because there are just a few parts on here that are oddly designed. Oops, and this came off. Great. That's fun. Why did you come off? What the hell? The other one, we got a new series to talk about. Our first show of the season. I'm going to watch Horimiya. I should say, I am not going to weekly review Horimiya, the missing pieces, because it's just side stories for the main story. And I don't think there's going to be context. If you haven't watched the first season, you should. Horimiya should be on your list of things because it is a teens romantic comedy series. But the premise, if you read the premise of like, he's got secrets and so does she, like kind of, but really it's just high school bullshit. And they immediately like just kind of decide they're interested in each other, and also their secrets are revealed pretty quickly because they're just high school secrets. Um, but it's fun and dark in some places and like surprising in others. Horror Me, I think, is great. Has an excellent dub out there. It's one of the last great Funimation dubs before the merger. Kind of fucked up everything. So I think it's worth checking out for that too. And now there's going to be stuff that didn't end up in the anime, stuff from the manga that got cut. So it's going to be like weird, disjointed scenes. So I don't think I want to cover that every week. But I did enjoy. I am going to watch that. So I'm not covering that. But I can tell you about My Tiny Senpai. If you're like, hey, Pat, is My Tiny Senpai the story of like a girl at work who's tiny and cute, and the main guy immediately is smitten with her, maybe falls in love, but is definitely interested in her, and then she's also interested in him, and so it's just going to be 12 episodes of them being fucking cute with each other and maybe start dating, and that's what it seems to be anyway from the first episode. We got Shiori, who is part of the Sun Pick Company, and she is a senior employee. They give her like a terrible, stupid title that is forgettable, but I did write it down. I went back to write it down because I was like, yeah, it's just jargon. She is a senior employee within Team A for Development Group 2 Planning in the Product Development Department. So that is just a bunch of bullshit. But basically, she's a senior employee, and then everybody respects her and likes her, and she's very cute and tiny because she's my tiny senpai. God damn it, why is this fucking up? Y'all, I cannot get this goddamn piece to fit in right. I did the other side. Why is this side so complicated and weird? I just need this piece to shove in there and to keep this hose in place. Just fucking do it. I don't want to force it too much. I'm going to try to use my tweezers here, see if I can really shove this in. I don't want, the one thing I definitely don't want is, I don't want this to rip. I'm very afraid if this rips, then it's all going to fuck up. So I'm trying to shove this down in here to get this piece on enough, because I don't want to rip this hose, because then I don't know what I'm going to do. If the hose rips, then it just won't work. I just have to take the hose off, and I don't want to do that, because I think that would look bad. It would look less good, I should say. I don't know if it would look bad, but it wouldn't look great. So yeah, we got her. She's tiny. Everybody likes her. Then we got Takuma, I should say, not Takuma. Takuma's a new employee. He's into her. She's into him. We got the will they won't they almost immediately. There's some jealousy about childhood friends. Like this first episode basically just sets you up for like, hey, this is what this story is going to be. This is how these characters are going to interact to one another. We're immediately in it to see what's up. I can't fucking get this piece to go. What happens? Why is this happening? Y'all, this is frustrating. This kit has some frustrations. I'm going to trim back this little part here that shouldn't be a problem. At the end of the day, it's probably me. I'm probably fucking this up, but anyway, this show feels very saccharine sweet. I do think I'm gonna like it. I don't know if I'm gonna love it. Here's the thing. I don't know if I'm gonna watch every episode of this show. I'm definitely gonna watch the next episode because I do want to know where it's going. I am interested in seeing where this show leads. So I will be at least watching episode 2 to try to figure that shit out. And I'll give my report. Sometimes when I get into episode 2 of a show, I just decide, that's it, I'm done. I don't finish the episode, and then I report to you, hey, I didn't watch the second episode of this. But for the most part, I do try to, you know, get a little bit of it done. I do try to watch. I try to watch at least 3 episodes of a show before I completely abandon it. Sometimes I got it. I got it. I got it. I had to press down on the top, and then it slid right in, which I didn't on the other side. I didn't have to do that on the other side. I did have to on this side. Now I just have to get this hose for some reason. Shove this hose in there. But I did it. I did it, friends. I'm almost ready to panel line this. Jesus Christ. That was very frustrating. Anyway, my Tiny Senpai seems very cute. There's a whole thing about a cat because Shiori loves cats because, of course, cats are cute and she's cute. And she, like, jumps into a bush so she can go talk to a cat. And that seemed kind of weird, but also cute and quirky. And I don't know. I'm hoping there's, like, something going on with this, a little bit more to the story than just, like, they're both cute and fun. Like, the one about the dude that has ice powers that is in love with his coworker, like that romantic comedy, like had like, well, first they were adults. I do like that. There are adults in here too, but that one had like something to it. It had a little bit that you could bite your teeth into. So that was fun. This might just be candy. This just might be like, oh, let's watch these fun people fall in love. So I don't know. At the very least, I'm going to give it a second episode, and we'll see. Monday, we will finish up Witch from Mercury. We'll finally put a pin in that one. We'll talk about some manga on Monday as well, Manga Monday. And we have a new series to start, Sweet Reincarnation, which is our first isekai of the season, which I have been told is not an isekai about a guy, a chef who dies and then starts a restaurant in a fantasy world. Apparently that's the goal for him, but like it's much more of a typical action adventure series. Like he wants to just fucking do that, but apparently it does not go his way and he is forced to do a bunch of other bullshit like normal fantasy stuff. So that's kind of a shame because it might have been fun. I like fantasy cooking shows and I like fantasy bakeries stuff. Like that could have been fun, but apparently that's not what we're getting here. It's much more sinister in some aspects. So, but I am going to check that out because it does seem fun. And then Thursday, right now, I know that for Thursday I will be talking about The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses, which is another rom-com series about a forgetful, popular girl and the dude that she likes who was trying to help her out all the time. And Reborn is a Vending Machine. I Now Wander the Dungeon, which is a nonsense isekai about a vending machine fanatic who somehow dies in a vending machine accident and then is reborn in a fantasy world as a vending machine. And it's very silly, and I've read a small amount of the manga, and now I get to watch the fucking anime. And you knew I was going to check that one out. You knew it in your heart of hearts that Pat Baer was at the very least going to see how that felt and what was that about. There's a few other isekai, but that's the one that I'm like definitely going to be checking out this season. But like I said, there are a few others that I'm sure I will investigate on occasion. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. What you watching right now? What are you playing? Did you go to the movies this weekend? You're going to go on July 4th because you have July 4th off. What's going on with my friends here in chat? If you're watching, you're picking up some old anime that, like the season's over, or you're watching some new stuff, or you're, I don't know, catching up on your Apple TV stuff or your Netflix. Let me know. Let me know what's up. I want to hear from you about what you're into, what you're getting into. For me, video game wise, Diablo 4 and Hearthstone. It is still just Diablo 4 and Hearthstone. That has been my consistent games. Have not gotten the expansion or the paid expansion for what I'll be checking out on Tuesday, which of course will be oh, sorry. The SpongeBob SquarePants expansion for Power Wash Simulator. I have not gotten that yet. I will get that if I don't get a code, because I have applied for a code, but I have not heard from them. So on Tuesday, if I have not gotten that code, I will then just purchase it. But I'm waiting to see. It would be nice if I got a code for that, but I don't know. The other thing that I have been that I'm planning to play a little bit tomorrow, because I had a busy day today. I had wrestling, and then I also had work stuff to do for a contract gig. So I did not have time to check this out. But I purchased yesterday Mars First Logistics, which is an early access game on Steam. Jeff Gerstmann streamed it. It is a art style that reminds me of Sable in that it is clearly influenced by Mobius, the artist. But you are on Mars and you are crafting vehicles to puzzle solve, to get an item from point A to point B, and various more point Bs and point As appear, and you got to move things, and you got to move things on the terrain. You can cheese it, or you can try to find the perfect thing, and you can get points that unlock more things that you need, and there are new mechanics, and it's in early access, but it looks great. Jeff Gerstmann streamed it yesterday, and I bought it during the stream. I was just like, oh, I want to play this. I don't care that it's in early access. I'm going to build that. That'll be a future stream. I have not started it yet. I will probably. My hope is that I can restart the game, but at the very least, I want to start and like get a feel for the controls before I stream it. Will I get frustrated during streams while playing it? I'm sure I will. But will it be worth it? I also think it will. It's just a cool game at the very least, even if I only stream it once and it's not a thing that we want to keep streaming or keep looking at. It seems really cool, and I would be happy to check it out. And it was worth getting in on the early access. Again, it's right now it's $20, I believe, and the vibes are really good. They have a pretty healthy roadmap. They're looking to do multiplayer, which I think is a fun idea. And yeah, there's just a lot going on there. I think Jeff playing it got a bunch of copies purchased because it was just like very cool. Like I said, the art style fucking rules. Again, it's got that Mobius art style and just looks so good. Let's see. Lord Crashton says, saw the new Indiana Jones on Friday and it was pretty good, but there was a brief power outage near the end during a chase scene. Got a readmission ticket so I can see something else later for free, I guess. Nice, Lord Crashington. Well, I'm glad you got that. Sorry to hear about the power outage in there. That's frustrating. A Silver Streak. I was talking about a game that's in early access on Steam that I saw Jeff Gerstmann play, and I ended up buying. I have not played yet myself, but it's on my list of things to check out. And that game is called Mars First Logistics. Mars First Logistics is got an art style very similar to, inspired by Mobius, so it is similar to the game Sable. You're on Mars. You're building drone like rovers to move pieces of equipment from point A to point B, and you're kind of like puzzle solving because the items are not easily moved by the last thing that you made, but maybe a slight tweak and you can make it work. Yes, it was on Day of the Devs. It looked fucking rad. It's now up in early access, and it's awesome. Lashbrook said, yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah, I think it looked really cool. Lashbrook is was hoping to spend the day playing Street Fighter 6, but I went and sprained my ankle, so I lied about watching stuff. Watched how to blow up a pipeline. Okay. Oh, you lied around. You didn't lie about. You lied around. I get it now. You lied around watching stuff. I might grab Dave the Diver when it has a launch discount going on. Yeah, that seemed all right. Yeah, I'm sorry about your ankle sprain, Lashbrook. I'm very sorry to hear that. I should say that instead of just talking about fucking video games and shit. I should say, I am sorry to hear about your ankle. I hope you heal up soon and quickly, because that's a bummer. Hey, I just want to point out the beam. This beam just wanted to come out of its sprue. This is a fucking long ass beam. Obviously, it's a master grade. This is a long ass beam. That's quite the beam. That'll be one of the last things that we build. So I'm going to set that aside. But dang, that's quite a piece of equipment. All right, so I need number 21, which is... we're going to apply our first sticker because we're going to at least get some of this head done. Now, I don't necessarily advise that for myself to be working on this at this time because it's late in the stream and my ability to function like a regular person is a little limited the more we go into streams. So I'm going to try to be quick about this and get a little bit of head done. That beam is red AF. It totally is. A Kamehameha kind of beam. Yeah, it's just like a cool jagged beam a weapon, and I'm excited to eventually install or put that in. Oh, I forgot a couple of spots on here. There's a couple spots on here that we can panel line that I didn't do. The waist, we'll do that too. We'll get a little bit of this head done here. We'll do one sticker because I can at least do one sticker, but we won't get too far into the head here because we're going to wrap up in a little bit. Not right away, but in a little bit. And then I'm going to watch at 11 p.m. I'm going to watch the... Oh, this was not fun. Damn it. At 11 p.m., I will watch the replay of Collision, AEW's new Saturday show, which was taped on Thursday because of Canada Day being today. They didn't do a live show on this day. So they recorded it on Thursday, which is the third episode of a series. And they're like, yeah, we're going to record it instead of having it be live. But I will check it out. I don't want to, like, move my streams around so I can watch it. So instead, I'm just watching the second hour, or sorry, the West Coast replay. So that'll come on at 11 p.m. All right, so we're going to apply one sticker here, which is the eyes sticker. We'll get that done. Feel good about that. Oh, you got to elevate that ankle. Yep, totally understand, Lashbrook. I hope your ankle feels better soon. But yeah, elevate that. Stay off it. Try your best. Monday stream will be as normal. Tuesday stream will be as normal. It's July 4th. So, of course, I'm going to be grilling for family and a friend, which is lovely. And I look forward to doing that. And, of course, I'm going to be playing the most patriotic game in the world, the SpongeBob SquarePants expansion pack for Power Wash Simulator. Nothing says Independence Day quite like playing a fucking video game where you're power washing in Bikini Bottom. Can you power wash underwater? John, we're going to fucking find out. We're going to find out if you can. Answer points to yes. Lord Crashman is playing that and enjoying it, which is great. I am hoping to get a code from... I'm hoping that on Monday I receive a code for that. Because I did put in. No guarantee they will. But I did make a request for it for a Steam code, so we'll see. And if not, I'll pick it up. I mean, look, I've gotten so many streams out of that. I've had so many streams that we've done off that game that I bought in early access back in the day when it was, when it first came in early access. So, like, I've gotten so much enjoyment and so many streams that I think for me, it'd be fine to just go like, okay, well, now I'm going to pay for the expansion. I think that's totally. But if I can get it for free, we'll get that shit for free. We're going to wrap up there. As you can see, we completed the chest here and we've started the head. We will finish the head on Monday and then start working on the arms. Spoiler, no tri-tip for this campaign's power washer. That makes sense. The tri-tip is just so powerful. That makes sense. Thank you everybody for hanging out. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to find some cool people doing some cool shit and go spend some time with them. So let me figure that out, how I'm going to make that work in just a second. So we can do that. We always end with a raid, as John says. Yes, indeed. So let me go find somebody doing some cool shit on a Saturday night, and we'll go hang out with them. Who's up? Who's doing stuff? Wow, not a lot of people that I follow are on right now. We're gonna go hang out with Witchy TQ. TQ is a lovely content creator and a person that is just like fantastic that I've known through the larger Loading Ready Run community. TQ is great. And we're going to be taking a look at Traveler's Rest, which seems like a fun game. And we're going to hang out there. And TQ is awesome, so come along on this raid. I have not hung out on a TQ raid in a while. I think last time she was no cam, so we're going to hang out with her and find out what's going on with this. I believe this is like I believe this is like a farming sim, but like a little horny, like on purpose horny. So we'll check that out. She is good people. You're right. So feel free to come along in this raid. I will see you in the future. Have a great night. I'm going to watch some wrestling and cool off. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.